close to contact, and somehow they kept it.
These are the most heated F1 moments of all time. You guys loved part 1, so I had to make a follow-up video. And to start off strong, this first moment wasn't just heated, it literally turned into flames. It's the 2015 US Grand Prix, and Nico Rosberg has just taken pole. Even though he fought until the very end against his teammate Lewis for the title in 2014.
It's not Rosberg, it's Lewis Hamilton, champion of the world in 2014.
He hasn't been anywhere near him this year. With just 3 races left, Hamilton could clinch the championship right here.
It's the showdown here in Texas then. Is this the finale or just part 1? Will it all continue on to Mexico next week?
And well, with Hamilton starting right behind him, it was clear that both would go all out at the start. And indeed, they did.
Looks like they're okay now. The lights going on. Above the driver's head. It's lights out and away we go. Hamilton, I think, got the better start there. It's going to be 2 Mercedes going wheel to wheel into the first turn. Verstappen into the inside in about 7th. And Hamilton looks to have forced his teammate wide again.
After that nasty move, Rosberg kept fighting to stay in the race for the title lap after lap.
Toro Rosso's ahead of the Ferrari again. How long before Rosberg's ahead of Hamilton? Looks like under braking, Rosberg's done it. Down at turn 12, but under acceleration, Hamilton gets past. Now Rosberg's having a go into the next right-hander. The 2 Mercedes fighting it out. This time it's Hamilton that goes slightly off the track. This time it's Rosberg that makes the move stick.
Only to end up like this.
Hamilton round the final corner. Hamilton, the race winner here in Austin. It's the US Grand Prix for Lewis Hamilton. It's a 1-2 for Mercedes.
Anger, frustration, rage. It was all going through Rosberg's mind as he was climbing out of his car, and he had just one image in his head.
The inside in about 7th, and Hamilton looks to have forced his teammate wide again.
Honestly, I wouldn't have liked it either if my own teammate pulled that on me, especially when the championship was pretty much decided. Could he have won if Hamilton hadn't pulled that move in the first corner? But in the cooldown room, just before the podium, that's where shit hit the fan.
It's rare we get to see and get an insight into those quiet moments that drivers experience.
But if only Hamilton had known what this was going to kick off. After this day, something shifted inside the German.
It's the 2016 Formula One World Championship. Rosberg wins! It's been a brilliant night in Bahrain. 3 wins out of 3 in Formula One in 2. He takes the championship 34 years after his father. It's like father, it's like son.
But if it ends up helping you win a title, you can't really complain, right? Speaking of rivalries, it's time to jump into a game where epic battles and legends come to life. Raid Shadow Legends. You know, I'm not usually into games that aren't racing, but Raid Shadow Legends is one of those games that anyone and everyone wants to get into. It's free to play and packed with action on Android, iOS, and PC. Now is literally the best time ever to start playing Raid. For a limited time, new players get 2 epic champions plus 1 legendary champion. And if you use the exclusive code that I've got, you will get a legendary champion for free to get a huge head start. All you have to do is use the promo code Monkey King, available only for new players through the link below. You'll get none other than Sun Wukong. Why Sun Wukong? I mean, just look at him. He steals buffs from enemies, deals extra damage, and can fully revive himself. All you have to do is click my link in the description or scan the QR code to download Raid and grab these awesome bonuses. And I've created a clan just for us, DailyFuelUp. You can join us to conquer dungeons, crush tournaments, and dominate the arena. Played Raid before? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Hit the welcome back link in the description, and you'll still get a sweet bonus package, including the champion Tagore. Just a heads up, this deal's only for mobile players. If you haven't started playing yet, click my link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses available only via my link. You will immediately get a huge starter pack with an epic champion Mausoleum Mage, and you'll get another starter pack after reaching level 15 that includes an epic Rector Drath. Thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for helping make these videos possible. Now, let's get back to 2007. Fernando Alonso, Felipe Massa, and the Nürburgring. They were both battling for the win at the Nürburgring, just a few laps from the end, and they were putting on a beautiful show.
Seconds faster than Massa in these conditions, the back of that Ferrari, and away he goes.
Alonso then, tucked up behind Massa. He's got lots of opportunities. 6 laps to go here.
Until the battle went a smudge too far.
Continually placing.
They touch wheels.
Incredible. He's got away with it. He takes the lead.
That is absolutely the kind of uncompromising stuff you expect from the two-time world champion.
And yeah, with them pushing so hard for so many laps, it was bound to end like this. But it didn't stop there. Alonso couldn't just celebrate his win. He had to call out Massa in front of everyone.
Ordinary victory. For a long, long time, it didn't look as though it might happen. He indicates to the cameraman, that is, I believe, where we went past Massa. He's not happy about it. They banged wheels.
I won't lie, it cracked me up. But the same can't be said for Massa.
A este momento. No, se lo está diciendo, se lo ha dicho bien claro.
Roto tutto il riflettore. Vince fa coglione. No, ma quello. Vince dice una cosa così. Vince dice una cosa così. Vince dice una cosa così. Ecco, però non si può fare. Prova a imparare, prova. Prova a imparare. Prova a imparare.
While Massa was airing out their dirty laundry, Alonso simply wanted to remind everyone that he was the winner and to think they'd end up being teammates.
Okay, Fernando is faster than you.
It was just as surprising as catching Daniel Ricciardo without a smile. You probably haven't seen him stressed out much, but if we go back just a few years, there's one day Mr. Honey Badger won't ever forget.
And wherever you are in the world, ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in and welcome along to the ride. It is the 2018 Formula One World Championship.
In his now third year as Verstappen's teammate, the gap between the two was only growing bigger and bigger.
Verstappen wins the Mexican Grand Prix,
which ended up pushing him over the edge.
Ricciardo shocked the F1 world by announcing that he was leaving Red Bull at the end of the season.
The weight was off my shoulders. I felt like a big degree of stress or whatever was released. So yeah, that for me tells me that, you know, it's for now the right decision, and I'm comfortable with that. So
even so, it made sense he wanted to finish his last season with Red Bull on a high note.
He wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Ricciardo wins the Chinese Grand Prix.
But things didn't just not get better, they turned into a total nightmare.
Ricciardo.
I think he got a shove, didn't he?
Yeah.
The rear wing's gone on that. He got caught up in the shunt as well. That is a big job to change the rear wing.
What's happened here to Daniel Ricciardo? Oh, he's had a new engine and it is smoking away.
But if you think that was all, well, it wasn't, because it seemed like life just kept throwing more at him. Just a week later in Japan, he couldn't even set a time in Q2 because of another engine issue.
I don't know if you saw, but basically lost the power. Okay.
Which completely drained his patience.
Today, exactly.
It was like he put his whole soul into it. And remember, the helmet kept most of the sound in. That was pure pain and rage right there. And believe it or not, his nightmare still wasn't over. You ever seen a driver with such awful luck? He had 8 retirements in a single season. He pretty much missed half the year. All the anger we saw before just turned into pure sadness.
I don't see the point of doing the next 2 races because I haven't had a clean race all weekend in so long, and I'm not superstitious or any of this bullshit, but it's the car's cursed.
But at least Ricciardo mostly kept it to himself. Can't say the same for Russell and Max in 2023.
It is time for the first sprint of the season. Welcome to Baku.
Starting 3rd and 4th, and with such a narrow track and such a short race, clashes were going to be inevitable. But what did these two do? They took it to a whole new level, and it all started here.
George Russell to the inside of Max Verstappen. That is so close to contact, and somehow they kept it out of the wall. Russell won't give up on this one, neither will Verstappen, and Verstappen is shown the wall. What a move, George Russell!
Not long after, Verstappen got back at Russell with this beautiful move.
Verstappen immediately on the cusp of going alongside George Russell, and Max Verstappen wants that place back. That's the move that we're going to get into turn number 1. Won't be the only one. And Sainz gets past Hamilton as well. Verstappen past Russell. Sainz gets past Hamilton.
And even though it looked like a pretty clean fight, Verstappen's car ended up damaged because of the contact on the first lap. Just look at Verstappen's face. When he ran into Russell at the end of the race, he just couldn't hold back.
Russell checking in. Let's listen in.
Yeah. Mate, we all have no grip. You all need to leave a little bit of space. Yeah, sure. But expect the next time the same, you know?
Max definitely wanted to take justice into his own hands, but it looks like neither side agreed on what actually happened. But do you know where everyone did agree on what happened? Those who witnessed one of the most outrageous moments in F1 history. Complete insanity, but looking back, it was so fucking good for us. When you think of Ayrton Senna, you think of one of the best of all time, an icon, a role model. He usually set a good example on and off the track, but what he pulled off at the 1993 Japanese Grand Prix, man, in a tough race with challenging conditions and the track drying out, Senna proved he was by far the best in these tricky conditions, leading with a big gap over Prost with only a few laps to go. However, most people now remember that race for something that happened right after, which, well, didn't make Senna look too good, to put it lightly. While the Brazilian was leading the race, he lapped Eddie Irvine, who was making his debut with Jordan and running in an impressive 5th place, right behind Damon Hill. Senna then found himself sandwiched between Hill and Irvine, and that's when Irvine got the amazing idea that would lead to consequences he could have never imagined.
Right up alongside him again, and is he past? Yes, he is! Eddie Irvine is past Ayrton Senna.
In the next lap, well, it looked like he was just battling Senna for the win. And after making Senna's race a nightmare, Irvine went wide. The Brazilian finally got rid of him, and after passing Hill, he lost a total of 15 seconds to Prost. But Senna, being his usual self, went all out and won the race with a lead over 11 seconds.
Ayrton Senna has won in Japan, to the delight of his Japanese supporters in their Brazilian outfits.
After the race, it was time to celebrate on the podium, a win with a huge lead, showing off his skills. It seemed perfect, right? Well, not for the Brazilian. For him, the celebration didn't last long because he still had something to sort out.
I had lots of scary moments in the race with back markers, just very unprofessional. I mean, if you're leading the race, the guy makes life so difficult for you to overtake 2, 3, 5 laps, and then when you overtake and they get involved ahead of you, other guys make a mistake and you slow down, the guys come behind you, hitting you, going like banging wheels with you, and I'm leading the race, I'm lapping the guy. So very unprofessional.
Well, if you just left it at that, no one would have even remembered it. But that was nothing compared to what he did next. After the post-race conference, Senna went over to Bernie Ecclestone's motorhome and hung out with Ferrari driver Gerhard Berger. The Austrian offered Senna a glass of schnapps while they watched the race replay. And of course, Senna was still complaining about Irvine. And what did Berger do?
Who was it who blocked you? Eddie did a good job today, huh?
Senna's face changed, and he quickly headed for the stairs. Any idea where he was off to? Yep, to the Jordan garage. Irvine had just finished an interview after his impressive debut race.
Say something, yeah? If you don't behave properly, you the next two races. If you just keep what you do, I can guarantee you that.
Things heated up fast, and neither of them was backing down. Suddenly, Senna jumped Irvine and punched him straight in the face, sending him flat to the ground. But within minutes, everyone in the paddock knew what had just gone down. The fight was all anyone could talk about for 2 weeks until the next race in Australia. There were rumors of a 2-race ban for Senna, or even suspending his super license for 1994, but he somehow ended up getting away scot-free. Senna did apologize, right? Well, kind of.
Nothing justifies hitting him. Nothing justifies, and I'm not justifying myself. I'm telling you guys that what took place was absurd in many different ways, and nobody did anything about it. Nobody even talked about it during the race and after the race.
And much like Senna and Irvine, James Hunt was another one who never backed down, on and off the track, as he showed during the 1975 Monaco GP. After this late race collision with Patrick Depailler, the Brit was out. And, well, any other driver would just get out of the car and walk away, right? But that was never Hunt's style. He was seriously pissed off about what just happened. Yeah, things heated up really quickly, and honestly, you did not want to be anywhere near Hunt. He wouldn't leave, just so he could wait for Depailler to come back around and do this.
Oh, he's furious, he's shown the middle finger. James Hunt goes wild.
And after that, I doubt any marshal wanted to go anywhere near him, but the fans, they couldn't have been more excited about the show he just put on. Hunt might be one of the most charismatic drivers ever, but when he got pissed off, he was just a beast. And no, he didn't get any kind of penalty after that. It was just a different era. Can you imagine what would have gone down if that happened today? But as we all know, most of these moments are fire of the moment decisions. But that's not always the case. You'll see what I mean in this video. A special thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for helping make this video possible. Don't forget to check out the link in the description, and as always, thank you for watching.